Guess what dropped for old Gatr today?
Oh dear God.
Well, yesterday. I was farming Vex on Nessus, and I shot the boss, and guess what pooped out? The Monte Carlo.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
Is it fun?
That's a fun rifle, man. I like that thing. I think it's even better than it used to be in Destiny 1.
I think that's what I heard too. I think I heard a lot of people say that.
And it's got a different sound too, Jay. It's like a more of a automated, like a true automatic. It has you know, in Destiny 1 it had like a tinny sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
In Destiny 2 it's more like it definitely feels like an assault rifle. It's really nice. Yep. All right, I got my tea in me. I think I'm good. You guys settled in? You think you're good?
Yeah.
But easy. Hazel, you guys good?
Yep. I think I'm good.
We got a long haul.
I'm drinking a beer.
Let's get this rolling.
Guardian down.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 12 of Guardian Downcast. We're three dads that talk about anything in the Destiny universe. We also dabble a bit in other gaming and entertainment. I'm your host, the Gatr, and my two co-hosts are here as well, Hazel and Easy. What's up, fellas?
Hey, how's it going?
New phone, who dis?
Well, to start things off, I wanted to introduce our guest of the show. He's one of the other co-hosts of Gamer Score Radio, and also now on the Distinguished Gentleman podcast. And honestly, he's one of the reasons I decided to do all this stuff. My friend Jay, akaGEARDad. What's up, man?
Hi. Yeah, I was just following instructions.
Okay, you get your $1 from Hazel. I get it. All right. Well, let's give a quick overview of the show, and I'll just tell you, boys and girls, buckle up because this might be a long one. I know we put some long podcasts out there, but this one may go a while. This guy's a little popular, so we got a lot of questions for him tonight. We're going to start off by getting to know Jay's story. Then we'll test his fast thinking abilities with our special fast fire session we call the speed run. We're going to catch up on the past week in entertainment, and we're going to go right into our Shadowkeep discussion about the new Shadowkeep expansion. Then finally, we'll answer any Twitter and the myriad of Discord questions from our community, and we'll add 2 songs each from everyone here to our Guardian Downcast playlist on Spotify. So let's get started. Okay, well, let's get started. I want to talk about this guy because he really inspired me when he rebooted his podcast about a year ago, I guess. And I was so amazed interviewing community members. I really loved what he had to say. And then it went away. I was like, what the hell? I love this show, and it went away. But he's back in other forms now. So my friend Jay. Jay, how's it going, man?
It's going good, dude. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
It was exciting when you asked me. There was no way I was going to say no.
I know you had a lot going on. It was going to take a little bit to get on the show, but I had faith. I had faith that you'd be able to get on eventually. But I want to start off with our basic canned questions here that we ask all our guests. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, God. Where do you want me to start?
All right.
Dude,
well, let me ask you this. Where are you from in the nation? You know, what do you do for a living? Things like that?
I live in Los Angeles, which is a very sad town right now because the Dodgers got knocked out of the playoffs. But and I work in a hospital. I'm a nurse by trade. Currently, I'm working as a case manager, which is basically the guy who comes in and says, "You've been in the hospital too long. It's time for you to go home." So,
Oh, you're that guy.
Very fulfilling work, let me tell you.
I bet.
Rewarding.
Yeah. And then when I'm not covering in the hospital, then I'm the one that's calling people. Like, I say, you come in, you had a stomach ache. So we had you in the hospital. You go home. I'm the guy that's going to call you like, hey, how's your stomach? You got everything good? You got all your medication? You seeing the doctor? Because we don't want you to come back. So yeah.
Sounds very heartwarming.
I'm the bad guy. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your gaming history. Like, start off with kind of about what age, like what was your first exposure to gaming? Did it take off from there? Did you take any breaks? Like, what's your gaming history?
I've been a gamer pretty much all my life. My I think it was my uncle. He had a Pong machine. And so I remember watching them play that. And of course they were like, you can't play. You're like 4 years old. Get the hell out of here. But then my dad got us a Atari. I think it wasn't the 2600. It was the one that was one up. I don't know if it was like the 5200 or I don't know what it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was that one that he got. And we got Pac-Man and Combat. And there was another game. I can't think of the name of it right now. But
Yar's Revenge. There's a lot of them, man.
Oh yeah, we had Yar's Revenge. That one was a good one too.
Yeah.
But that's what started everything. And like I was hooked right from the very beginning. Like it was just like, this is amazing. Like this is so much fun, and we pretty much had every system from then on, at least one from every generation. Like we had a Nintendo, we had a Sega Master System, we had the Super Nintendo, we had the Genesis, all the way up. We had them all. So gaming's just been a huge part of my life. That's all. Nothing else.
Sweet.
Nice. What got you into Destiny? Or how did you find it?
Destiny was actually found on accident. I had no idea it even existed. All right, so I'm going to get a little dark on you guys. When I got married in 2010, and like we found out that year, like, okay, my wife was pregnant and we're having twins. So I was like, okay, great, here we go. And before then, I wasn't doing much with my life. I was just like, just enough to pay the bills and whatever else. I was like, oh, I guess I better go to school. It's time to be a dad,
How old were you here, Jay?
I was 35.
Okay.
So, I went to school and everything, and the girls were born, like while I was still in nursing school. And so I had to juggle all that, with being newly married. We had a new house. I was still going to school, but I was creating no income, like we're living off of my wife's paycheck basically. And it would be like, she would go to work, I'd be home alone with the girls. And then when she came home, I'd go to school. And then they were like 6 months when I graduated. And then, the job started, and I ended up in this place where it was terrible. It was like this nursing home, like in the hood, man. Like I got into a knife fight over a donut, like that kind of hood, It was like every night, it was freaking nightmarish. And like the director there was like, he wanted me to do all this illegal stuff. And I was just like, dude, I can't do this.
Whoa.
Wow.
And hold on. And I was like just so exhausted with everything, and I could just feel myself getting overwhelmed. And it went dark, like I disappeared from everybody. Like I stopped talking to people. I didn't watch any TV. I didn't watch sports. I didn't play any video games for like 5 years. I just disappeared. And because I just needed to focus on like, let me just make money for these kids and just make sure my marriage holds together. It was bad, dude. And it actually got to a point, and I've never shared this with anybody before. I'm sharing this for the first time with you guys. Like the depression really kicked in, and I became suicidal. And I hit the low point when I was home with the girls alone one day, and I had the gun in my mouth in the bedroom. And the only thing that stopped me from pulling the trigger was I could hear them in the next room, like giggling with each other. And like it was the thought of them walking in and finding me after I had done it. That's what stopped me. And from then on, I was like, this needs to stop. Like I need to do something. I can't power through this by myself. And so I got help. I had doctor friends, so I reached out to them. I told my wife about it. She was, of course, she was horrified. I told my parents, I told my siblings, and everybody rallied, and I went from being very, very alone to all of a sudden having like this huge support group. And as things started to get better, like I got a better job and, money started to pick up, that kind of thing. And then it was getting a lot better, but I was still just overwhelmed with everything. And after 5 years of not doing anything and not watching a movie, not doing anything at all, I decided to get an Xbox for whatever reason. It was Christmas. I had like extra money. So I bought one. I had met this buddy online through a different podcast, and he and I became fast friends. And he told me about Xbox, and I was like, okay, I'll grab one. And we played Minecraft together for like, we would play like just middle of the night, because he lives in Pennsylvania, so it's a 3-hour gap. So he'd stay up to like 2 o'clock in the morning just so that we could hang out, and he'd show me the stuff that he'd built or whatever, and it was cool. And then so my cousins were like, oh, you got an Xbox, cool. And we started playing and stuff, and then they were all playing this game called Destiny, and they're like, yeah, it's a shooter. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. They're like, just get it, just try it. And that was, I want to say, end of January of 2016, right? That's after Taken King.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the game then, and then like I started playing. It was like I started as a hunter, and I was like, this is cool. I guess this game's all right. But I kept dying. I was like, this sucks. And I almost quit. And then I tried a Titan, and then I was like, oh, this makes sense now. This is much better.
Yeah, you put money in the slot machine and you actually won.
Yeah. So, but Destiny was like this game that like it gave me something to just think about other than like this crazy stress that was in my life. And then as the more I got into it, I found Reddit and I found Twitter, and like I was like, my God, people make videos about this game, like how the min-max stuff, and I didn't realize how deep the game was, and that just, it sucked me in. And from then on, it's been nonstop. Like it's just been nonstop. So that's the long answer to how I found the game. So
I remember you telling me that you were kind of a Taken tot, and you came in during that time where you actually had a Void Hunter, which was somewhat helpful. In D1 year one, I started off as a hunter as well, and that was the worst time to be a hunter, I think, ever. You had the arc / whatever it was, and you had the golden gun, and that was it. So
that was it, right? Yeah.
That was it. So what I used to do during nightfalls is I'd go in with 2 buddies, and I would hide behind a rock and just crouch and go invis, and every time they died, I'd just go revive them.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I would do.
Hide behind a rock again. That was kind of like my only purpose of D1 year one. So I did the same thing as you. I switched to a Titan first, and then I brought a Warlock, and then that revive, that Sunsinger Warlock in D1 was so clutch. I mean, you could almost be careless, right? Because you had essentially an extra life, and it helped you be able to contribute quite a bit more. So that, yeah, same here, man. But I'm back to Hunter now. I don't think I'll ever switch again.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you imagine if we didn't have Jay around and how close you were to taking your life, dude? I'm not trying to bum us out, but I'm like almost in tears. I can't believe that you would think that way.
Like that's why I'm so like invested in this community, because like this game, like it literally, like as far as I'm concerned, this game literally saved my life.
That's
because
awesome.
I was done, dude, and like this gave me something to go with, and as much as it helped, it's still like life was better, but like I still felt very, very alone in that I was the only one that had kids. Like none of my cousins had kids. They were all still single. Nobody was married,
right?
And I was just like sitting here, like, they would go, oh, let's go to LA and go check out this new whatever food truck or whatever. And I was like, dude, I can't afford to go anywhere. Like going to Target is a friggin', it's an excursion in itself just to pack for the kids and whatever else, and nobody understood that. And then I discovered Dad Tales, and I was like, oh my God, these guys are just like me. Like, I'm not the only person that's going through this stuff, and that's why I'm so loyal to them. Like that's why I'm so protective of that community and everything. It's just like, dude, they gave me a home. Like they gave me somewhere to where I felt like I belonged.
I just want to thank you very much for sharing that, dude. I think that needed to be said.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, Jay. And that you just going through that story explains a lot more to me. And I think you personally, so when I started gaming, and even after I got into Dad Tales, and then we used to DM quite a bit back in the AMP days.
Right.
And you were like, man, these are my buds. And like, I just didn't get it. Right. I was like, they're internet friends, right? Whatever. It's not that it's not real, but when you have a close knit circle outside of gaming, and especially when you try to break into a circle of gaming. I mean, it's almost the same thing. It's a social aspect, whether it's in a clan or if you go to a gym or whatever, right? Any social setting.
Right.
So
right.
I think it took me a long time to break into it and just kind of feel out where I landed. But just listening to you on AMP and just moving through the phases of my own personal life in this clan, I have started to make like what you would call true friends, where beforehand I was like, guys I play video games with, whatever. But you personally helped me with that. And Hazel's probably one of the first ones. Hazel and Gru and a guy named Dell, I don't know if you played with him, were essentially my first really good friends online. And I don't think I would have ever even thought about making that connection without hearing you say it over and over and over again. And the story that you just explained, man, I completely get it. That was awesome. I'm really glad that you shared that with us. We appreciate it.
And I being I'm much older than you guys. Well, not you, Jay. We're probably the two oldest guys in this clan, I'm thinking. You're what, 44?
We're not.
You're 44, right?
Yeah. We're not the oldest, but I'm not going to call anybody out.
Okay. I'll say it. I'm 51. I'm 51. I'll say it. I'm proud. My brother just turned 49 today. Happy birthday, bro. You know, like Hazel, when you first came into the chat room, Hazel said it all. He said, dude, when I heard Jay's voice, I got a little bit of chills. I can't believe Jay's here talking with us.
Dude,
and can you imagine that, dude? I mean, I really understand. I really do. And I know guys don't want to be told how they're supposed to feel. My wife hates it when I say, well, you don't understand. I know the pressures, man, of having kids and having that pressure of having to put the food on the table, man. It can be rough. So good on you, man. You know, I didn't even ask you, what kids do you have?
I have twin girls.
Twin
They're
girls. 8. Oh, God
Yeah.
help you, man. Between the two boys that Easy has and the twin girls that you have, wow. I have a boy and a girl. I struck it rich. I was done. I had my 2.3 kids. I was done. I got a boy, and then you know what's funny? When my daughter was born, she was so swollen from all the. I guess they get a lot of steroids, not steroids, but testosterone and all that in them when they're. And my daughter was 2 weeks late. She did not want to come out, and when she came out, she was so swollen. The doc lifted her up in the air, and I said, "Oh, okay, it's another boy, no problem. Let me go tell my mother-in-law. She's out there and waiting." And the doc goes, "Son, where the hell are you from? That's a girl." And dude, I said, "That's a girl? You kidding me? It's a girl." You can ask my mother-in-law. I was running up and down the halls of the hospital. People looked at me like I was freaking insane. And it's a joy to have, man. I know it can be tough sometimes for some of those dads out there, but it gets better. It really does. So,
it really does. It really does.
And you look back, I look back at my son is, I'll talk about this later, but he's playing Destiny now. He's 22 and my daughter's 20. And, I try to talk to him as much as I can or game with him, but, dude, God damn, man, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless for once in my life. Good on you, dude. It just kind of hit me hard when you said that.
Well, I think it's smart. You can't do it alone. You just can't. When you've got young kids and you're in a situation where you're a new dad and you're fighting to learn what it's like to keep a baby alive and still cohabitate with your wife, and you just can't do it alone. You have to have some sort of support group, whether it be family, friends, whatever.
I did want to ask you something. I want to know how. I'm going to just give you a little insight here. When I heard the term akaGEARDad, you know what I thought? I thought, okay, this guy's a tech guru. This guy's going to give me all the tips. I got to know this guy because he's going to give me all the tips on how to set my internet up and all the newest tech gadgets are out because his name's GEARDad. He's got the gear, man. All right, what's behind the gamer tag?
And then you found out I don't even know how to plug my controller into the console.
I'm just curious how you got that name, the gamer tag.
Gear are my girls' initials, GE and AR.
Oh,
Like those are their names.
Gotcha.
So, and then it was just like, I'm their dad. So GEARDad.
Wow. See, just like with our scientist lawyer last couple episodes ago, I would have never guessed that. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So it's very simple.
Our scientist lawyer.
Well, not our
We
scientist
have him on
lawyer.
retainer.
No,
Oh, you guys have him on retainer now too?
We're
Nice.
trying. Admiral Nips is really giving us a hard time. He doesn't want to let him go. He wants them all to himself. So we'll see. I want to ask you another question. And Hazel, I'm sorry. If you have a question, man, definitely chime in here.
Yeah.
I want you to give us one memory of one of your earliest days of gaming that made an impression on you. Can you think of one?
My earliest days of gaming.
Like, when you were sub 15, say. Was there something that
I can-
really hit you, a certain game or certain memory of a game? Or
I just remember, I remember the first time I ever walked into an arcade and I found that Star Wars game. Do you guys ever play that? It was like all
Yes.
vectors,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and you
Yep.
you have the controller and you have to shoot all. Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
that game was amazing.
You had to
Like,
shoot
I
the
was-
top of those towers as you're flying
Mhm.
through.
and then
Oh,
you have to, you have to run through the
Yeah.
little tunnel and everything. Oh my god, that game was so awesome. Like I was hooked after that. Like after that, I became an arcade rat.
Me too.
And thankfully, we lived next to a mall that had an arcade at the time. And
So there
Yeah.
went all
Yeah.
your
oh, God,
there went all your paychecks.
so many quarters, man.
Oh, I
Like,
know.
so many. Like it was just
Yeah.
it was ridiculous. And I would play games like I didn't even like, just because they were there. You know what I mean? Like
It was amazing.
God, like gaming became a huge part of my life.
Yeah. It was an amazing time, man. The 80s were just amazing.
Yep.
Hazel, do you have anything you wanted to ask?
No, just throughout the course of this, I'll just chime in every now and then.
Okay. I was another question I had was what's the average life of I'm just going to call you a hospital administrator because that's what it sounds like you do. What's the average day like in the life of a hospital administrator?
You know what? It's probably the same as everybody else's day. It just happens to be I'm in a hospital.
Really?
Like pointless meetings. I'm sitting at a computer. I'm making calls.
Yeah.
And just pushing paper, trying to
Okay.
look busy because my boss is next to me. So
Oh,
I have to
wow.
get really slick about being on Discord.
Oh my God, how do you do it?
But other than that, it's just like, I'm just, just show up, clock in, clock out. That's it. I wish I had like exciting stories, which I do. I have like very sad stories,
Yeah.
but there aren't any like really, really good ones. I mean,
No, I know. I've
we've
just
had like,
if someone was just a peer, what I love about watching movies is you're peering into someone's life. Like tonight I watched the movie Judy, and it talked about the last year of Judy Garland's life, and it's just amazing to see what's going on in an average day, in their life, and it's hard to do, That's why I always ask that question. Well, let me ask you this. Since you live in California, what's the California life like, and how do you think it's different than Florida? And don't say Florida, man.
weather here is nice.
Yeah. I
I mean, other than that, dude,
I mean, what is? I moved my brother to Irvine in July, and I looked at the sky. It was crystal clear, not a
Oh,
cloud in
nice.
the sky, and it was 72 out. And I'm like, God damn this place! I mean, we're dying in Florida right now. I mean, it probably feels like 110, and it feels like the swamp, like a bog at the swamp. I mean, it's so humid, and I don't know. What really freaked me out though, Jay, was that area you live in is a lot of foothills, like right outside of town, and it's all
Mhm.
desert.
Yeah.
Outside the town, it's all desert. It's like
Yep.
barren, and you're like, where's the effing water coming from? And
that's why we had a drought.
and you have all these green, beautiful lawns, and that's what I do. That's my business. And I'm looking at these lawns going, how are they sustaining all this? And you have these great utopia, everything's brand new and shiny. And I mean, it's some cities like Irvine and a lot of your tech cities. I know Santa Barbara, and I've been through some of those
Yeah, well,
cities. They're
Irvine's beautiful, dude. I went to school out there. Like I went to school out there when it was just farmland. Like
really
that place has changed a lot,
It
like
grew
a
fast.
lot.
Wow. I was just curious because I was out there one
Yeah, I
time
mean,
in my life, and I didn't know if
Weather's
anything-
nice. Traffic's real bad.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I don't go into the city much. I despise going to the city. And for the record, like I've been trying to convince my wife to move to Houston for like almost a decade now. So
Really?
Bring it, brother. Come
What
on.
is it? What is
I'm
it about? What is
trying,
it about
man.
Houston that you love?
So when Angela was pregnant with the girls, she found this group online of like twin moms who are all gonna have babies like February of 2011,
Mhm.
like right around there. And so they became friends, and they wanted to have a meetup, and they were all over the country, and someone was like, come to Houston. I had never even thought of the city ever. And So she was like, "You want to go?" I was like, "Yeah, cool, we'll go." And I swear, from the second we landed, everybody was so nice, dude. Like, I remember just seeing, like, going to get food, and people actually sat down and asked you how your day was, and like, just because out here, like, the pace of life is fast, dude. It's just like, get to where you're going, get it done, get out of there, get to the next thing. When we were in Houston, people were just like taking their time. I was like, dude, this is awesome. And I fell in love with the people, man. Like, everyone was just so laid back. And what tripped me out the most was, like, I'd be driving and I would use a turn signal and people would let me merge. I was like, what is this?
They didn't fight. That's one thing that Florida is very alike in California. You put your turn signal on, trying to be nice and polite, letting people know, I need to get over, bud. How about a break? How about a break? No, they immediately floor it. I'm like, all right, you want to play this game? Okay, I can play this game too. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I fell in love with that city. I mean, it's hot as hell during the summer, but I mean, I couldn't. And I've been to Dallas, and I like it there too.
Yeah.
I told my wife, like, hey, if this is where you want to go, we'll go. But our families are here. Like, her parents live 5 minutes one way. My parents live 5 minutes another way. Like, all her siblings are here. My siblings are here. So it's kind of hard to, uproot.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you said your family's all around you. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Well, do you have any other hobbies other than gaming? I know you've talked about how much gaming is meant to you. Is there anything else you do outside of gaming?
I used to have a lot of hobbies. Then I had kids.
Yeah, I know.
So
I feel you.
I was into archery for a while, and then I haven't shot a bow in a long time. But like lately, I've really gotten back into drawing. Like the shirts that I was designing for Gamerscore Radio.
You drew
like those
that?
have been real fun to do. Uh-huh.
Wow, dude, that's really nice.
Nice.
That's really nice.
I've been looking hard into like an iPad and stuff because I really want to see what I can, just have something to doodle on. But we'll see.
Have you ever done any in real life meetups, or you plan on doing any?
Not yet, but next week, the raid team, 5 of the 6 of us are meeting out in Albuquerque.
New Mexico.
So I'm really, really excited. So it'll be me, Admiral Nips, Fluffy Fingers MD, Chuckleikes Pizza, and Pale Hippo. So it's the first time I'm ever going to meet anybody from there. And then, so that's super exciting. And then hopefully I think it's January, Justin might be coming out here to LA for work. So
nice.
We're hopefully going to be able to meet up.
I've done a few of them, and you get really nervous because, you don't really, you want people to look at you in the best light. And you know what? I've met up with Agent H. I've met up with two or three guys from my old clan. My old like AGA clan. I met a couple of guys in real life, and a couple of them we went to a Gatr game together, and we did some shooting at the range. We had like a guys' weekend. We went to saw a Star Trek movie like in a super theater and stuff. Dude, I'll never forget those days. It was so much fun, and I hope you have a great time. But just don't get nervous about any of that stuff.
No, we're good. Like I've known these guys long enough. Like they're like brothers to me.
Exactly.
Especially the raid team. Like we talk all day, every day. It's the dumbest thing. So
yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
That's awesome.
One last question I had, and if you guys have any, definitely chime in. Gamerscore Radio, what's that about?
Gamerscore Radio is like my favorite thing right now. Laz was a guest on AMP on episode 27, and halfway through that show, I was already writing down ideas as he was talking, because I was like, dude, this guy is so good on the mic. Like, he's such a natural. I was like, this guy needs to have a show. And so it was like, I want to say maybe a week, 2 weeks tops after we recorded that show. I was like, do you want to do a separate show? He was like, yeah, sure. And he and I, we hit it off like right off the bat. And because I didn't know him really, Mm-hmm. Laz is like, he's so creative. He's so prolific with his work. Like he provided content for, it's Bads, Potato Thumbs, Dad Tales. He would write in Destiny Addicts, Anti-Meta. Like he fed us so much stuff, and it was always funny. It was always witty. And then to hear him on the mic, I was just like, dude, there's no way. Like this guy's wasting away. Like this guy needs a show. So I was like, whatever you want to do, let's make this happen. And we came up with Gamerscore Radio because, we figured, okay, it's going to be Destiny based somewhat, but we need a niche, right? Like we need to stand out somehow. We can't just be another Destiny show.
Mm-hmm.
And so we came up with Gamerscore Radio, which originally was like, we're going to talk about music in games. And I was like, this is a lot of work. And I don't know. I mean, full disclosure, I don't know a lot about music. You know, like I know what I like and I know what I don't like. But as far as like, you know, tempo and whatever else, like I don't know anything. And so the first couple episodes was actually about music. And then we were like, you know, talk about whatever we want. And so we do. You know, Laz is a great guy. Like he's one of the people that I'm so glad that I met. And going back to like anti-meta, when I think back about it, and you know, like after I ended the show, right? Like I think what was that, July?
So.
I've had a lot of time to think about what that run was like and what actually happened. You know, like I was able to separate myself from the situation and think back about it like more objectively than I would have when I was in it. And there was so much drama. There was so much going on, dude. I should have ended that show at episode 26. That was the Howard the Duck episode. When I soloed it, that should have been my last show. Like
that was a great show too. I remember firing it up and being like, damn, is he going to pull it off? And you crushed through that whole episode. That was awesome.
Thanks. I was so done with the show at that point. That's why it was solo, because I didn't want to deal with anybody that day. I was like, let me just get this out. And thinking back, like I should have ended it there. But if I had, 27 would have never happened, which means I would have not gotten to know Laz, which means Gamerscore Radio wouldn't exist.
Right.
You know, so I guess things go on for a reason.
Yeah, I'll admit, I listened way back, and there was a certain point where, I don't know, I'll just say there was a little bit of negativity in the show, and I quit listening. I was like, you know, if he doesn't like Destiny, I don't want to listen to that anymore.
You are not the first person to tell me that, and that's the thing too. Like thinking back about AMP was, you know, like the first 2 seasons were not ideal. Like when I first came up with the idea of it, all I ever wanted to do was talk about the game.
Right.
You know, and I didn't want to talk about, you know, TWAB or the meta or anything like that. All I just wanted to talk about was like, hey, do you remember that time we were raiding last weekend and you fell 20 times? Like that's what I wanted to talk about. You know, like I wanted to talk about what it was like to hang out with my buddies.
Right.
And like the movie stuff came out of like, again, it was just like, okay, give me something that'll make us stand out, something that nobody else is doing. Let's talk about movies. And my idea about talking about movies was going to be like, hey, this movie is real dumb because, you know, like there's a plot hole here. Or this was funny, whatever. Like I didn't want to talk about cinematography and all this other stuff. I don't know any of that stuff, you know?
Right.
Like I just wanted to talk about what was funny and what wasn't.
Yeah.
And like off the bat, like it did not go that direction. You know, I was like, whoa, what's happening right now? And then again, and then when Destiny was struggling, I was still playing.
I was too.
And
yep, I was too.
You know, everybody says that Curse of Osiris was like the low point, right? Like that's the worst it ever was.
Mm-hmm.
Curse of Osiris is when the raid team was born.
Nice.
And when everyone else was angry during Curse of Osiris, we were raiding every Friday, and we were having the time of our lives.
You know what, Jay? It's funny you say that because Hazel and I had this conversation on Tuesday where that's when, so I don't get to play a lot, and I think it's well documented that, you know, I have limited time to play. During Curse of Osiris was the one span of Destiny time where I got to lead raid teams and I got to like carry people through raids every single week. And that's when me and Hazel really clicked and we started bringing people through. We brought you through.
Carried me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so when people talk about Curse of Osiris, they can dog it all they want, but that was one of my favorite Destiny times because I actually got to be the guy that was helping people instead of the guy that was just trying to catch up.
Yeah. Like I remember that season very fondly. I don't like going to Mercury, but I remember this, I remember the season fondly. Like it was a good time for the game, at least for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. And I know we're running long and I just want to get this out real quick, but back to AMP. I learned a valuable lesson during season 2 when I hit a wall with Destiny. And I remember coming on and I was trying not to be negative and I was trying to give a pragmatic and like I was trying to talk about it without being like, this game sucks, blah, blah, blah. I was just trying to share my experience and what I was unhappy with. And I know after that, there were other comments made, and I think what I said somewhat spun into something else completely. And man, I felt like crap about that for a long time. And then when you released your last episode, I had just landed from being on a business trip, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna fire it up and give it a listen. And man, I pulled over and I sent you a long ass DM like, dude, if I was even a part of that negativity, it was not meant to be taken that way. Man, I felt like shit. And
I'm sorry.
anyway,
dude,
so
no.
But it needed to come out, and I thought it was one of the most heartfelt public service announcements I've ever heard. It was incredible enough to where I was driving home on the freeway and I pulled over and I felt the need to text you and let you know that I thought the show was awesome. I mean, I know there was a lot of stuff in the background, but man, I feel like I listened to almost every episode until season 3 when I kind of put Destiny down, and I kind of had to step away from the community as well for a little while. So
For the record, you never had to apologize for anything. Like I know that you and I talked about this earlier, a week or so ago or whatever. And I actually went back and I listened back to that episode, and dude, you didn't do anything wrong. Dude, like you were giving your opinion, and it was your opinion. You were not attacking anybody for having an opinion different than yours. And I have never asked anyone to be anything they weren't. I've never asked anybody to say something they didn't believe in, nothing like that. Like you be you, and that's going to be cool. And I think that you did a really, really good job of that. The thing with AMP was, again, during season 3, when I was doing the interviews and stuff, when that first started, I want to say after the first week, because Angela, she knocked that out of the park. Like
I was just gonna say that.
That was a great episode.
That was one of my favorite episodes.
She made me look real good.
Yeah.
So, after that, it was like, I can't tell you guys how many people reached out to me and said, "Hey, I had stopped listening to your show, but I'm back now."
I think I was one of them.
And it was,
I was one of those.
How many people had left? And it's not like I didn't know you guys to stop listening. I saw the numbers.
Yeah,
like we were plummeting. And during season 3, what happened was, as I thought back about what I had done, I know people knew what my frustrations were with the first 2 seasons, right? Like there was a lot of trolling, there was a lot of attacking, and it was just like, all I wanted to do was talk about Destiny and laugh about movies. And instead it turned into like these personal soapboxes that just, like you guys said, it was just so negative, and again, Easy, that wasn't on you, dude. Like I think you did a really good job of saying what things were like for you. And really, that's all you can speak of, But when you have other people who are like, you're dumb for thinking this, or, you should be thinking that, it wore me out. And as season 3 went on, I started to realize, like, even though I wasn't necessarily one of the people that was doing that, I was still the one hitting record. I was still the one editing the podcast, and I was still the one sending that out every week, and I felt terrible about it. Like the guilt was like eating me up, like for a year and a half, I trolled this community that I love so much. Even though I didn't say the words, I was complicit in that I was the one throwing it out there, and I kept doing it, and I felt like a coward for not standing up. I felt like a troll for being the person to publish this thing every week. It felt real bad, which is why you saw, like, I stopped calling it anti-meta. I started calling it AMP. You saw logos start to disappear. Things were just starting to, little by little, start going away, because I was trying to like erase this past,
Yeah.
And I should have owned it. And I mean, yeah, I apologize. Like season 3 for me was like my love letter to the community. Like this was like, I'm sorry. Like this is what I wanted to do the whole time, was just to show everybody how awesome all of you guys are. And so that was what I was doing. But at the same time, this guilt was just eating me up. And the more people like praised the show, the worse I felt.
Really?
I was just like, dude, because it's like, I don't know that I can make this up to you guys, because I was such a coward for 2 years, And that's why like when things kind of started to snowball and, like when I ended the show, it wasn't just, life was getting busy because like Angela, she's like, she coaches soccer, she coaches softball, she takes the girls to ballet, she's the PTA president, she's the commissioner of the soccer league. She does all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like she's super busy. She never stops.
Mhm.
And amongst all that, I was like, well, I have to record, and it's just like, it's starting to strain things,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time though, like I had grown to hate the brand of AMP.
Mm.
I'd hate it to a point where like when people mentioned it on their shows, I would cringe. I just felt terrible. You know what I mean? So, I don't want to end it like on this like crazy, like negative note, but I'm just being honest with you guys, and I've never talked to anybody about this.
Hazel, do you want to sneak something in, don't you?
Yeah, I just want to say two things. One was, I think, Jay, just that even though those episodes were negative and you took a lot of that on yourself and you feel that way, is that I would still listen every now and then to even those negative episodes, and I would just listen to you, and I'm like, you were the reason why I listened. It wasn't because of the negativity. It was
100%.
Jeez,
That's the reason I kept the feed alive, is because Jay was talking. So
yeah, exactly.
Are you blushing yet? Are you blushing? Come on now.
Yeah, man, I'm trying not to freaking. I swear I'm not crying.
Look
right
at
now,
his cheeks; they're beet red.
But my question for you though is, I love the thing, stay fetch. Where'd that come from?
Mean Girls. I wish I was more creative, but that's all it was. It's Mean Girls. We did the movie. I did it with Potato Thumbs. I want to say 2 or 3 weeks before the end of season 2 of AMP, and it was like, this movie is awesome. And I just kind of, that's why in the Discord it's Gretchen bot and it's all this stuff. It's silliness.
Yeah. Do you wear pink on Friday or pink on Wednesday?
Pink on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But it's because my undershirts are washed with like the reds. That's why.
You might want to cut that out. Hazel shouldn't know stuff like
that.
But I've missed like doing the interviews. Like I've really, really missed it. And I really felt bad. Like, I know I had so many people on that list and like, that I really wanted to talk to you and I didn't get a chance to. So what I'm planning to do, and I'm giving you guys this as an exclusive too, is with Gamerscore Radio, we're going to, Laz and I will continue that, but I'm going to start something called GSR 1v1, and I'm going to bring those shows back. It won't be a weekly thing. It'll kind of just be like a whenever I can get to it thing. But I really missed the one-on-one stuff, so I'm going to try to bring it back at least in a semi-regular time period. So look for that soon.
That is
first
awesome. I'm excited already.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry. Enough about me.
We got a lot of exclusives tonight. I'm loving it.
I've been running my mouth, man. I'm sorry.
Man,
all good.
When I talked to you earlier, I wanted you to tell us your story, man. Because that's what this show's about. It's about knowing our community members and especially you. This is one show I've been waiting to do for a long time. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Nah, for nothing. You guys are doing all the hard work. I just showed up.
Well, all right. Thank you very much for talking with us, Jay. Let's move on to our next segment.
Call the Praxic Order, call the Thanatonauts, the Jinsen Scribes, call everyone so they can witness you.
It's time for the speed run. This is where we have a database of 66 randomly asked questions, and Jay's going to have 60 seconds to answer as many as he can. These are short 1 or 2 word answers, so we're going to keep track of how many he answers. At the end of the year, the person who answers the most, that's a guest of our show, will win a prize. And I have said it over and over again, it will be sweet. Tonight I'm going to ask the questions randomly from the list. Easy, you, as usual, are our timekeeper. And Hazel, you are our quality control expert. And in the event of a question being answered correctly, the 3 of us will have a vote and majority wins. So, we ready? Jay, you ready?
Sure.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. What was your first video game?
Pac-Man.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Rock, paper, or scissors?
Scissors.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Have you ever been in a band?
No.
Void, solar, or arc?
Void.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Hell yes.
God damn it. Is racing a sport, yes or no?
Sure.
Water balloon fight or food fight?
Food fight.
Would you live on a beach or a cabin in the woods?
In the woods.
Would you be invisible for a day or fly for a day?
Invisible for a day.
Human, awoken, or exo?
Human.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Grenades or melees?
Grenades.
Blue, green, or brown eyes?
Green. Don't tell my wife.
Favorite color?
Orange.
First gaming console?
2600.
Favorite Destiny 2 subclass?
Oh God, Striker.
That's it. That's it.
Wow, I think
That was good.
I think
Good,
we're
Jay.
I think we're really close here, guys. What do you think? what do you? That was amazing. No cutouts, right? I want to make sure I got
No,
that
it was
correct.
clean. It sounded clean to me.
It's two of those questions I haven't heard before, so I'm sorry for laughing. But if you could fly, if you could be invisible for a day,
Hey, it's random,
I'm like,
guys.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
it's randomly picked off the list. So
And then rock, paper, scissors. Like, what kind of question?
I don't know. It's a multiple choice question.
Oh, that was funny.
I will say this. Some of these I did get off the internet, but some of them I actually made up. So some of them may sound a little weird, but that's because I'm weird.
No, I love that one. That was hilarious.
Rock, paper, scissors.
All right, Hazel. What do we got?
Drum roll, please. 18.
Oh,
Yes.
we got a leader. We got a leader.
Wow.
Oh, Flip's gonna be pissed. He's he's punching his maple tree right now in Canada.
And saying sorry the whole time.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Boom.
Sorry.
Oh wow. All right.
Man, that
Jay.
felt like comp.
a
My
little,
heart's all
a
pounded.
little pressure, dude. I love it. I'm these two knuckleheads. I'm gonna be asking them the same thing, so they're gonna know what it's like to. They may have a little bit of advantage because they've heard a lot of them before, but they obviously can't win the prize, but because they're part of the podcast. But I am gonna plan on doing it. I got it all planned out. So before the end of the year, it will happen. All right. Well, fantastic, man. 18 questions answered.
I'm sure someone's just out there waiting to drop a 20. I know it's there.
All the guests from from Warcry up until what was it, guys? You remember which the last guest was cutting out really bad? Was it JC Jesse?
I think it was Justin.
I think him.
Yeah. So all those guests are going to be doing. We're going to have a special show where that's all we're going to do. So it'll be a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, all
That
right.
was him, right? Have you ever been in a band, The Strokes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's classic, dude. I wish I've got all the raw files, and I'll probably make that a soundbite at some point. I got to. This is too cool. All right. Well, thanks, Jay. Thanks for getting that done,
absolutely.
man.
That was
All
fun.
right. All right, guys. Let's move on. Let's talk about what we've been watching this week. And then after this, we're going to go right into our Shadowkeep discussion of how our first week of the Shadowkeep expansion has gone. Jay, you're our guest of honor. You're first. What have you been watching this week?
So, famously, I'm just like, I don't watch anything. I'm always behind. So I've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I just started season 5. And it's really, I don't know, the director kind of changed. I don't know if they changed directors or writers or whatever. Been just all talky talk, and I'm just like, dude, just use your powers, please. So for the first 4 episodes, I was just like, oh my god, is this what it's going to be like now? And then this 5th episode, I just watched it today during my lunch break, and it ended on this this big holy crap moment. So now I'm just like, all right, I need to go watch some more. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool show. I don't know if you guys ever seen it.
I actually
No, I haven't seen S.H.I.E.L.D.
I haven't seen S.H.I.E.L.D.
I haven't either. No.
Yeah,
Also
it's
seen?
it's kind of like Smallville or Arrow or Flash, whatever. It's one of those made for TV, but it's superheroes. It's pretty cool. It's fun.
I'm just gonna say I watched 2 movies this past week. I just came home literally an hour ago from watching Judy. That's basically the life of Judy Garland in her last year of life before she overdosed on drugs. It was played by Renee Zellweger. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 83%. Critics 87% from the audience. I have to agree. Very stirring movie. Okay, I'll just say it. I was a little bit teary-eyed when I walked out of the theater, and I had to kind of look down and not let anybody look at me. So I'm a little mushy on stuff like that. But I tell you what, between these two movies I mentioned tonight, both these actors got to have an Oscar nod on these two movies. They're that good. But it's definitely a great movie, especially if you like, Wizard of Oz. It talks about her life and all the struggles and stuff she had to do for things. And the other movie I watched was last weekend. It was The Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix.
Ooh, how's that?
It was 68% critics, 90% from audience. Rotten Tomatoes. And I got to say this. I forgot to mention this. Jay, what is your deal with Rotten Tomatoes, dude? I got to ask
Thank
this.
you for asking. Thank you
Okay.
for asking.
Okay. Go for
I
it.
have no problem with Rotten Tomatoes. Like, none at all.
Admiral
None.
Nips, you're a liar and a...
No, you know who it was, and I'm gonna call him out. It was Fudd.
Fudd? Okay.
He was the one that's like, oh yeah, you know how Jay hates Rotten. I do not. Like, it's totally fine. It's a fine way to measure a movie. I had a co-host in my old show that had very, very major issues with it and spent an entire episode talking about how bad it was.
Oh, okay.
That's where it came from.
I got you. Okay.
I have no problem with Rotten Tomatoes at all.
I just wanted to
That's
ask
pretty
because
funny.
every time I mention those scores just for your benefit because
No, and I know, and every week I listen to you, I'm just like, you mentioned me again. I need to clear this up somehow.
well, I gave you the out. I wanted to make sure you talked about it. So.
Thank you.
Going back to Joker, I know you guys want to know what it's like between Renee Zellweger with Judy Garland and Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker. They really must be method actors because they played their role so well. I mean, you can't help but be drawn in on these two movies. And like I said, if these two don't get Oscar nods this year, I'm calling bullshit because these were just fantastic movies, and I watch a lot of movies. It talks about mental illness. It really does. He has a lot of different mental problems. I won't get into it because I want you to discover it on the movie, and I'm sure everyone in our community is going to watch this movie. So I will say this, it does tie in with the Batman story. I'm not going to say how or when, but it does. So you'll kind of get a gist of how it all ties together a little bit. I tell you what, these are two movies. If you have the time to grab a sitter and maybe you only have a couple, 3 times a year to go see a movie, one of these two movies, obviously Joker, you need to call the sitter. You need to go see these movies because they were fantastic. So easy. What about you, man?
So to lighten the load a little bit, I guess, my son and I, we read a book every night. We read a couple chapters, and they went to Costco and picked up a inspirational people book like collection. It's got like 10 books in it. The very first one was Anne Frank, and I guess I had never read about her story before, but she was a Jew back in 1930, I think 37, 38. Anyway, she ended up in hiding with her family and then went to a concentration camp and died. So that kind of spun me into Schindler's List. So my wife and I watched Schindler's List over a 2-night period.
Nice.
And
Wow.
as hard as it is to watch, and now as a parent, like watching it when I was younger and watching it as a parent, it is a very tough watch, but I think it is very important to keep that history alive so we do not allow a political movement like that to ever happen again.
Wow.
Yeah. What a movie.
It's one of the best of
Yeah.
all time, dude.
It's a tough watch, but I think it's a very important piece that needs to be consumed and understood for sure.
That's well said. That's a really, really good film. Like you said, it's heavy, it's hard to watch, but you need to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Hazel, did you watch Mean Girls this week?
Obviously, you haven't seen it, Easy. But no, actually, I have watched Mean Girls, and I actually really dug it. At work, some of the people that I work with, they actually, a group of managers and senior bankers, we have like Mean Girls Wear Pink Day on every Wednesday. So yeah, I'll rip out a pink shirt on Wednesday and be a mean girl.
I like it. I like it a lot.
See, no, that's the thing though. Nobody knows if I'm kidding or not. So yeah. So for me, I haven't watched anything depressing like everyone else. So
I'm just now thinking that everything has been pretty depressing.
Yeah, no, pretty much what I've been watching is like some comedy stuff actually. Dave Chappelle. I've watched a couple of his comedy specials from Netflix.
Oh yeah.
That's great stuff. And then
He's the best.
yeah, he is. And then this guy I work with, he recommended a show called I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson on Netflix. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll check it out, you know. And each episode is 17 minutes long or around there, so it's not too long, but it's all sketch comedy, just like the Chappelle Show. And I'm only like one episode in or two now, and it's very funny. I mean, just some shit like different takes on things. One skit is he gets a gift, or he gives a gift to somebody, and the guy's like, "Oh, thank you, I love it." And he's like, "Oh, well, okay, well, the receipt's in there just in case." And he's like, "Oh, no, it's okay, it's fine." And he's like, "Okay, well, then can I have the receipt back?" And it's just this awkward moment where the guy's like, "Oh." So yeah, it's just like little awkward things and little twists on like little standard things that we like kind of take as a culture and just go like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, it's good stuff.
I'm glad you talked about that. That's in my queue. I haven't watched it yet though.
Yeah. So, aside from that, just the usual stuff, The Affair, and what the hell's the other one? The Handmaid's Tale, which is just utterly and completely traumatizing me.
Oh boy.
My wife watches that show, or she did before.
Yeah.
She's like, "Do you want to sit with me and watch this?" Like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, because you know what'll happen? She'll look at you like you're such a scumbag at the end of it.
It's not just that, but like having daughters, like I can't.
Yeah, I know.
That's a bit much.
Exactly.
It's tough to watch. I'm on episode 3, I think, and we haven't come back to it. We've got so many shows to watch. That's the problem. We've got our DVR with our normal TV shows, and then Netflix is another one, and then Prime's another one. There's so much to watch. It's overload, but it is in my queue. I do want to watch it. All right, well, let's move on, guys. Let's move right into Shadowkeep. I think I can speak for all of us. We've all played into the first week of Shadowkeep here, and let's just go kind of round table here. Let's just give everybody what your impressions are. Let's start with the opening story. Anybody want to jump in? What they think?
So I first would like to say that I love being back on the moon again. And when Destiny 1 dropped, going to the moon, like going deep into the Hellmouth and down in those caves always gave me like the heebie-jeebies. Mm-hmm. And Destiny has not done that again until now. Like some of those missions just going deep down into the moon, I still am like, ooh, it's something else. The story, I think, is what I've heard from multiple people is this is just a kicking off point to what's next. This was not supposed to be a story arc that hit an ending. This is just the beginning of this full year. And that was just like the episode 1, right? I thought it was great. There aren't cutscenes like the very first cutscene of Taken King anymore, which kind of bums me out because I think that cutscene was like the best cutscene ever in Destiny. But it was good. I liked it. I like having Eris back. I like being on the moon. Anything specific y'all want to talk about? I mean,
well,
you just go ahead.
Are we going to spoil it?
That's I'm sorry. This is a podcast about Destiny, and it's been past. We're in week 2 now. If you haven't played Destiny yet, then I guess this would be the time to switch off until our crazy Discord questions pop up. So fair warning, there will be spoilers here, light ones, but not anything too heavy. One thing I wanted to touch on your point, Easy. You talked about how the story was. Everyone says it's been kind of abrupt, but I think a lot of the veteran players of Destiny, we're all used to playing the campaign, the story wraps up, and then boom, you're thrown into the wild on the new planet, run these little after things, adventures and stuff, and then you're done. It's all about grinding then, right? Luke Smith even talked about this, that it's going to be an evolving world. I don't know how many times he's said this, but like this week, what's happened? All of a sudden I'm getting some artifact. I got to go collect get certain fragments from a nightmare hunt and to talk about the memory of Tarlo. And I don't know much about Tarlo, but I think the story is just going to slowly unwrap as the seasons progress. And I think what Bungie said is it's going to get a little heated in the first season. It's going to start cranking up in the second season. It's going to really get crazy in the third season. In the fourth season, there's going to be a finality. That's the way they explained it. So I wanted to touch on that. And as far as the story of it, my favorite part and my oh shit moment was when I was walking with Eris over the ledge and I saw an effing pyramid ship. And I about freaked out. Yeah. I said, finally, we're going to talk about the pyramid ships, because I was really worried they were going to wait till Destiny 3 to talk about this garbage. And I'm like, no, we need to talk about this. This needs to be incorporated now. And the ending scene, it was riveting. I thought it was riveting, where, you're talking to yourself pretty much, and how this evil force comes over you and bypasses your ghost and starts telling you this and that, and tries to just trick your head into doing whatever. But everybody acts like this darkness, if you want to call it that, is going to be all powerful, and like we're just a little bug they're going to squash. I really don't think that's the case. I think we have some big role to play in all this darkness stuff, because if we were just a bug, I mean, if you were just an ant pile on the ground, would you even spend the time to even interact with that? You would just walk past it, right? Move on. It's not important enough to even deal with. So I think the darkness story, I think we're going to have a big role to play on this, and I guess time will tell. Hazel, GearDad, what do you guys think?
I think that part of the reason why there's a little bit of backlash about the story is simply just because this is a $30 campaign thing. So if you compare it to all the other ones, Forsaken, Vanilla, Taken King, Rise of Iron, all of that, there was always like a self-contained story.
Well, nothing's going to follow Forsaken. I mean, Forsaken was the granddaddy expansion. That's when Bungie really changed gears, I don't think it's going to be hard to follow that.
Right. But that's what I'm saying, though, is I think that's the reason why it got some backlash, because it just, like, people say it abruptly ends just because we don't know, like, what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
We don't know who our enemy is. We don't know this. We don't know that. But at the same time, it's, it's an investment, in a way. So, all we can do is hope that Bungie doesn't screw up the story too bad. So,
yeah. Jay, you got any thoughts?
Jay?
About the story?
Yeah. Come on. I know you're all about the story. That's what I've been hearing. Yeah. Jay loves the story. He wants to talk about it.
I'm like, there's nobody worse.
The mic is open, dude.
Destiny lore than me. Like, I know nothing. I just show me where to go, show me what to shoot. That's it. Like, I have no idea what was going on.
Jay,
like,
I used to be that way. I used to be the same as you. I just tell me how to get the best weapons. I don't really care about this garbage. And then that first lore book came out, and I'm in it now. So I recommend that's what you do.
I actually bought that lore book, and then I returned it.
What?
I had it. Like, I literally had it, and I was like, am I really going to read this? I don't think I am. So I just sent it back.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. He bought it for the emblem.
I'm telling you, I'm the person who, like, when I ran through this campaign, the first night I ran with Safety Czar and Ian, and then I think I took Friday off, and Lowat ran me through most of it, and then we finished it with S Racer. And we literally I was like, let's just run, go. And I was skipping cutscenes and stuff. I'm terrible when it comes to story. I'm terrible.
Wow.
Like, I still don't understand why we fought Oryx. I have no idea.
You make me feel better about myself.
The game's fun, man. I just want to play. Like, I mean, I'm not knocking the lore, like,
yeah.
From the pieces that I've heard, it's very, very fascinating. But, like, for me, it doesn't, I don't retain it. Like, I hear these new names and I'm like, who the hell is this guy now? Like, I don't know. That's just how I play the game. I'm just weird like that.
Fair enough.
No, well, I get it.
Let's talk about the season pass, or battle pass, whatever they call that little bar that you rank up, and the new artifact and stuff. What do you guys think of that?
I love it.
It's pretty cool.
The thing is, it gives you something else to grind for. Like, even when you're doing nothing, that you're still accruing XP, and it makes bounties, especially the planetary ones, like, they actually mean something again. So you're actually going to go bother to pick those up because you're trying to fill this other bar. What
do you think, Easy?
Yeah, dude, I think it's anything that blinks at me on the screen and says that I've done something, or that a number like goes up, I think helps, right?
Give me my hit, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. And even with that season pass bar, even if you haven't ranked up, every time you turn in a bounty, every time you do anything, it pops up and it goes dee, 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 and numbers. And that little slider just moves a little bit more. And yeah, it's what this game's about. This game's about numbers. It's about collecting and moving your numbers higher and higher. And it's just another piece of that. And you know what? You get materials from it. You get glimmer from it. You know, I think it's cool, man. I like it a lot.
Hazel, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, mainly just because, in a weird way, it's like I'm pissed off in a like kind of about it, because think about how many times we've like leveled up our characters and all we saw was that little fucking triangle or that little diamond that never went up any. It was just like, oh gee, I wonder what number I'm at, and it's like, fuck it, nobody cares.
Why exactly? Why should any of us care?
Exactly, but now, I mean, they've given us a reason to actually like dive in and care about it, and it actually means something.
You know what the coolest thing I like about it? I am the world's worst at time wasting. I will just sit there and go, okay, let's run these planetary bounties. You know, I got an hour before I got to go to work. Let's see if we can do here. I need some materials. Now it's like they were listening to me. It's like any little piddly thing I do in the Destiny universe, I'm getting credit for. I love that. I really do.
The other nice thing about it too is like, if you didn't buy the whatever the paid route is,
right.
Like, it's not game breaking if you don't have that.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about.
It's just bonuses for if you actually did get it.
Right.
I think it's balanced really, really well.
And it's just anything you do in Destiny. This is what I loved about Battlefield games. Anything you did, you threw a grenade and burnt someone just a little bit, you got some points for that. If you supplied a supply crate to one of your buddies, you got a point for that. It all added into your XP and your score. That's what I love about what they're doing with this new XP system now with Destiny. So, well, let's talk about this briefly. The pricing. Does the pricing seem fair to you guys? I see you got to pay. I know we've had some confusion over this, but it's $35, I guess, for the expansion. It includes the first season pass, the first season of premium. And if you already own the game, then that's pretty much it, right? Oh no, then it's $59.99 for the complete battle pass and the Shadowkeep expansion. So you have two different ways you can go about this. What do you guys think about it? Is it fair?
I think so. I mean, it's for $30 you get your battle pass, you get a ton of ornaments, you get multiple different gear types, you get a whole new system, and all the other and you get new guns and whatnot. You get a new location, but what everybody's not talking about is we essentially paid $30 for them to fix the foundation of the house, right? It's not pretty. Like when you need foundation done to your house, you don't see any of it really on the top. It's all just fixing the foundation. And there was a ton of overhaul that they did to the systems and everything. And I think that part of that had to be paid for, right? And the moon, them reskinning the moon and like some of the Vex weapons were the Osiris weapons that are reskinned. And there's a lot of reskinning, but reskinning has never bothered me. I don't care what a gun looks like as long as it has certain perks and attributes and whatnot, right? So in order for them to continue to give us a product that is worth coming back to, it needed some foundation work. And I don't mind paying for foundation work. I mean, I think it was a great price for what we got. The whole picture, right?
That's a great way to put it. The foundation. I wouldn't have thought of that. That's a great way to frame it up. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I opened up a Steam account. My son's starting to play. He's on the free to play account as well. And I said, you know what? Why not? I created a new Steam account, and every couple times a week I game with him, and we do all kinds of stuff. I did play the remastered story at the beginning. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. A lot of stuff is condensed and sped up. I mean, you're pretty much hustled to the tower pretty quickly, and then it's like, good luck, go explore. And we're like, what? And we didn't even find this out, but if you want to play the past campaigns, which are all free, by the way, all the way up until Forsaken, including Mercury, all those expansions, you just go to the shipwright.
Including Mercury.
Yeah, including Mars. All the expansions, all the way up to Forsaken. You get it for free.
I think you get Tangle Shore and Dreaming City too.
Well, you can do bounties, and there's the way they do this is the way the leveling system is when you're free to play is anything you do in the world, there's a little dial around the planets, and as you fill the dial bar up, it unlocks the planet, and then a bounty will pop up and say, okay, visit Nessus. So you go visit Nessus. You talk to Failsafe, and she'll give you like 4 or 5 things to do on Nessus. You do those, and it pushes you to the first major story that, you guys have all done this, right? Do these 4 stories from each of the planets, and you get like 60 material of everything. 60 of everything on all the materials. Have you guys done this?
No,
I can't remember what it's called, but if you look in your quest, it's built in when you downloaded the game.
Oh yeah.
You get all those stories done. If you've already done them, they're already checked. But if you haven't, like I forgot to do one, and I went and did it, and I got 50 of everything. It was awesome to see those bars fill up. Just all these materials starting filling up. But that's the way you play as a free to play player. You unlock each planet as you do stuff. Anything. It could be a bounty. I'm telling you, they have given you everything to play. Even Gambit, obviously strikes, all the new strikes, maybe not the new strike, but all the strikes that we played in the past, everything is included. It's like you can't even feel that it's free to play. They have literally given everyone, and the only signs I've seen that I need to buy the Forsaken is if I want to get the pinnacle weapons. Not pinnacle weapons, those are free too. The exotic quests like Truth and the hand toaster. What do you call the hand toaster? I can't remember what it's called.
Jotun.
The Jotun. All those exotic things.
Which, by the way, Jotun is now tied to a quest. It's no longer a random drop.
Right, exactly. And I tried to scroll over it. And it said needs Forsaken expansion. So I'm like, okay, fair enough, Bungie. Fair enough. So I looked at it. I said, okay, let's find out what everything costs here. If I want to unlock the premium bar for this season, it's 1,000 silver. So it's $10. $10 will unlock all the premium bar of the season battle pass, whatever you want to call it. So $10 for that. It's 1,000 glimmer. If you want to buy the Forsaken expansion and play the Cade Dying and all that stuff, it's $25. And then if you want to play, you can either pay the additional $35 for the Shadow Keep and the first, the first season, or you can pay the $59 for the whole year and all the premium content. I figured it out. If I wanted to play the Forsaken and get all the pinnacle weapons and the rest of the season of the year, it's going to cost me $84. So keep that in mind. And my son wants me to buy it for him. I'm like, well, yeah, let's. When you get to the point where you can't do anything but Forsaken, then we'll talk. But $84 is what it costs if you want to jump right in with everyone else and what they're doing. So, any other things anybody want to mention about the Shadowkeep expansion?
No, not really. Great job, Bungie.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's really enjoyable so far.
I think we covered it pretty good. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for the discussion. Let's move on.
Overtime. Let's do this.
It's that favorite time of the week. It's the Discord and Twitter questions. Holy crap. We have... Easy. Can you give us a count on how many questions we have listed this week?
I think we're north of 40.
Wow. Obviously, we're not going to be able to get to all those tonight, but the ones that were asked to Jay are going to have priority because he's here tonight and he can answer them. If we have time for the others at the end, we will definitely ask them. And if not, they'll be on next week's episode. So we don't forget about any questions that anyone submits. So please keep submitting them. I'm going to ask the first question to Jay because it's from Lana, our favorite Canadian. Sorry, Flip. But she is a girl.
Golly. Oh, Flip. Poor Flip. We still love you, Flip.
I love quickly you're disposed of there.
He's he doesn't mean anything to me now. He doesn't hold the title. So, what can I tell you? I'm just kidding. Just kidding, buddy. Wow. Just kidding, brother. All right, Jay, here we go. This is a multiple tiered bunch of questions. Let's just call this a mini speed run from Lana. You ready?
All right.
I'm gonna ask all the questions, and you just answer them in whatever way you want to. All right, here we go. Number 1, what's a Filipino dish everyone should try? Number 2, why are you so awesome? I can answer that one. Number 3, is a hot dog a sandwich? Number 4, what's the best thing about Canada? Number 5, in one word, describe your household. Number 6, in one word, describe how you feel about gaming. Number 7, do you have a nickname or ever had one? And lastly, what is your favorite thing about BDSM?
Wow.
Go for it.
Okay. So, wait, what's the first one? We got to go through these again.
What's your Filipino? What's a Filipino dish everyone should try?
There's this thing called turon. I don't know if you ever heard of
Turon?
it. It's basically a fried banana egg roll.
Oh wow!
And instead of frying it in oil, they fry it in sugar. It's pretty freaking good.
Okay. Why are you so awesome?
She's just too kind.
Okay, you're modest. I get it. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
What is the best thing about Canada?
Lana.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh,
In one word, describe your household.
Cheese.
In one word. Chaotic?
Yeah, chaos. That's a good one.
Sorry, I'm putting words in your mouth. In one word, describe how you feel about gaming.
Passionate.
Do you have a nickname or ever had one?
No, I don't think so. At least not that anyone's ever called me to my face.
Really? Okay. And what's your favorite thing about BDSM?
All of it.
Hazel's on Google right now. What the fuck is BDSM?
motherfucker,
No.
I'm Hazel.
Dude,
That's easy. Easy's like BDSM.
Oh.
How do you spell that?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Slow it down here. Hold on a second. Jay, what is this BDSM? I love you, brother. I'm just kidding. All right.
You're screwing up your Google history, I'm telling you.
Easy.
Virtual high five for Jay. There you go.
Speaking of Easy, you're up. Go ahead, Easy. Go for it.
all right. So we are going. My phone locked as soon as you said that. So hold, please. All right. Podcast questions.
Just a few.
So I'm looking for some specifically to GearDad so we can knock those out first. Okay. Grugrux asks, will you have t-shirts made of your 2019 World Tour podcast appearances?
I've been on a lot this year. No, I'm not making it. I'm making new shirts, but not for that. I actually counted how many different podcasts I've been on this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9, including yours. It's dumb.
Wow.
Golly, man.
So dumb.
Popular.
I don't know why people keep calling me.
Yeah,
Hey, man.
I think we all know.
Kingsley Mac asks, question for akaGEARDad. I know I'm your favorite guest that has been on the show, so I won't ask who has been your favorite guest.
You're right, Mike.
But what has been something in Destiny that seems like work, but you do it anyways? We all know this game makes us grind like crazy at times.
Gambit. It's gotta be Gambit. Because I remember when that game mode first came out, and I was like, dude, this is the most amazing thing. And then like a month later, I was like, I do not want to do this anymore. Like I'm so tired of it, dude.
It's because people stop playing the objective and they don't listen, they don't care, they just goof around.
No, what it is they just do bounties. Jay.
Only if I'm solo.
Okay, all right. I do bounties too. I try to help. I don't know.
I don't know, like that and Reckoning. Oh,
I haven't done Reckoning yet.
I did it today on my free account with my son. It was one level, dude. Level 1 is one. It's the first room, and then you go back. You get your gear. They have really simplified it. They've really simplified it.
Really?
I don't know about level 2 and 3. I can't speak to that yet. But level 1, I was like, that's it? We don't go to the next room? Okay.
Wait, there's rooms in Reckoning?
Well, yeah. But, you clear one area and you move into another room, another area of the map.
Oh, I think I've only ever done a tier 1, and I was like, this is enough. I'm good here.
Okay. I might be wrong, but I guess it's been a while since I've done a tier 1. But yeah, I was like, dude, that's it. Okay, I'm heading back.
I mean, if people are into it, that's cool. You know, it's just not for me. It's just
Yeah.
Okay, so next one is from, let's see, Gatr grabbed it from Laz on the Twitter. What would Bungie have to do to Erentil to get you to stop using one? Do you use Erentil?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't get one until the last week of last season. And the raid team, like we haven't raided all, we didn't raid at all last season. We raided like the first weekend just to see what the raid was like. And then we're like, summer took over and we played PvP the whole rest of the way. And because we couldn't get all 6 of us together. And I don't know, we were running Menagerie or whatever. And I was like, how do I get an rental? Because I'd never gotten one. It wasn't in my loot pool. You know, Banshee had never given me one or whatever. And it was that weekend, it was given like quadruple drops or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it gave me one with like some crazy perks. And we went right into private matches so I could try it out. And it was amazing. It's like, I haven't unequipped it. And understand, like I'm like the biggest recluse whore there is. But a rental's good, dude. Like I can't unequip it. It's so good.
Who have I thought about that I saw this week that used their rental?
Hazel used it.
I was waiting for him to speak up.
It seems like everyone's using it right now.
He posted a clip. He's just sitting there, just murdering people with that gun. And I'm like,
oh yeah, when you took out, was it all 3 of those people in comp? Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
And I have to mention this.
Tell me about it.
I do not recognize this guy anymore. Every time I look on the game and see what everybody's playing, Hazel's doing freaking comp. I don't know what the hell. The world's coming to an end. I don't know what's going on.
Comp's good, right? Like I learned to fall in love with comp last season. It was, I don't know. I hated it all up until last season, until I started chasing Revoker, and I was like, dude, it's fun in here. Like this is cool because you can control it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's 3s now too. That's the important thing to me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's true. Yeah, this dude's already got his recluse.
Yep.
I've played 3 games of comp, maybe ever, and it was on Tuesday.
Well, then you have a bonus coming.
Yes.
A reset.
If you did it before 1 o'clock.
Nice. Next one. Grugrux asks from the Twitter, Gatr sits near you at a restaurant. Do you go up to her? And if so, what do you say?
Oh, I'm going up to her for sure. And what would I say? God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to pull girls. You know, I don't have game like that. I would probably just be blibbering something like, "Oh, hi." Like it would be something very, very embarrassing.
Look at her plate and say, "You gonna eat that?"
I know you're not.
Oh no.
Or you smell real nice. That's a good one, right? That one works.
Yeah, that's not creepy.
Yeah, girls love that, right?
You smell real nice.
Do you smell her first? Do you go up to her and just go?
No, like I've been smelling her since she walked into the room.
Oh my god.
So here's a question for you, a follow-up question for you that we're there with that one, Jay.
Oh god.
So your wife is with you.
Uh-huh.
Do you still say it? Do you still go up to her?
She knows. Angela knows.
That's awesome.
I would hear about it for the rest of my life, but
it'd be.
What are you going to do?
Okay, these next 2 are from Chubby Wizard. Question for akaGEARDad. Who is your favorite Harry Potter character, and why was Ron Weasley such a punk? Thanks, and I love the show.
Okay, so you guys know I'm like a huge Harry Potter nerd, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I do now.
So
nice.
Luna Lovegood's my favorite character. She was just so quirky, and she didn't care what anybody else thought. You know, like she was gonna do her, and that was it. Like I thought that was like really, really cool because a lot of her characters are kind of like one-dimensional and boring, but Luna was really, really cool.
All right, hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. I'm a big Harry Potter fan, but I don't know who this Luna is.
What?
I don't. Who is Luna? What's her last name?
She was the
Love
hippie
it.
chick.
Yeah, the hippie chick.
Oh, she was one of the
With like
instructors.
the turnip
Instructors?
earrings and stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm
No,
sorry.
she wasn't an instructor. She was
wasn't?
she was the one. Wasn't she in the bathroom? Or no?
No, that's Moaning Myrtle.
That's
No,
Moaning
no,
Myrtle.
no. I remember
I
that
thought
one.
that she was talking to Moaning Myrtle though.
Luna Lovecraft, is that her name?
Lovegood.
Lovegood.
I don't know why I don't know this one. Okay, I'm sorry. Carry on.
Her dad was the one that was big into the Deathly Hollows and stuff.
Man, why don't I remember this? It's not about me. Go ahead. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out later.
And then Ron. Why was he such a punk? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why was he such a punk?
You just imagine being like second fiddle to like this kid who's just like, he lucks his way through everything. And you're just like, dude, I'm putting in all this work and nobody recognizes what I'm doing. I would totally understand where he's coming from.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Next one, another question. What would you rather have? Alrighty, you ready for this one? A Houston Astros World Series championship, which you already have one of those,
Yes.
or a date with Brittany.
Spears?
Oh, Jay loves Brittany too, man.
Dude, she's hot. She's hot.
So I'm glad you asked me this now and not like 2 hours ago when they were still playing and I was still sweating out the game.
Yeah.
So, for the sake of consequences that I have to live with for the rest of my life, I think I'm going to take the World Series championship.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because let's say 2017 was the only one they ever won. And like 40 years from now, I'm in a wheelchair in a home and my wife will sit there and she'll come visit me and she'll say, wouldn't it have been nice to see another World Series championship before you died? But instead you went on a date with Britney Spears? Because I'll never hear the end of it. She'll just throw that in every now and then, you know?
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, World Series championship.
Very cool. One from Agent H. With the raid team meetup coming soon, has everyone every day been leg day? And how much have you practiced scissoring?
Never skip leg day. Never skip leg day. And I am a scissoring virgin, so I'm waiting for Fluffy to change that.
Interesting.
Fluffy's getting built, man.
Lovely.
All right. I'm just going through here looking for another one specific to you. I think we nailed all of them. Oh,
That's all of them, yeah?
We have one from akaGEARDad. What was the big from akaGEARDad? What was the biggest number you saw in the D2Q? I heard it was like 15,000, something like that.
Oh no, I had 32,000.
Oh, I didn't see one. I logged right in because I waited 2 days.
Smart man.
Yeah, I had 18,000.
It wasn't by
There's
choice. I just had work, and then my anniversary was the next day. So I was like, I'm not going to touch this.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a question also from Justin as well.
Is it the one that I said too late to post?
Correct.
Oh,
It's
okay.
too late. Moving on. Next question.
All right. Scratch that.
Okay.
I'm doing great, Justin.
Yes. Hey, man. How's it going? That's what JC Jesse was asking.
Alrighty, so let's start hammering through some of these and see if we can't get through them.
All right. Let me stretch.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm stretched. Go ahead. Go. Let's go.
Grookrux asked, do you have an application for a Guardian Downcast intern? I'm pretty good at the Twitters. Yes, we have applications. DM me.
We're taking applications.
Oh God.
I love
help us.
Gru's Twitter account. His Twitter account's awesome.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just all pinnacle weapons every other day.
Yeah, that's why. It's like, dude, look at this guy.
I know, dude.
Yep. Look what I found. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Uncle Scum has the next. Oh, this is Skull. Sorry. Why do Uncle Scum and Skull have the same damn tag? Okay, whatever. Okay. Skull, what is the most terrifying thing you've watched, seen? For me, it's salad fingers. Anybody? What's the most terrifying thing you've seen?
Seen? Oh, I can say
Like on TV or like in real life? Or
anything.
I don't know what a salad finger is, so I don't know if it's a show.
All right, I'll go first because this is still messing with my life. I saw Paranormal Activity, and the last scene of the movie, spoiler, it's only been out for 10 years, where the husband is yanked off his bed because his foot is sticking out beyond the sheets and dragged through the damn house like at ultra fast speed, like he's a rag doll. And then his wife screams. He jumps up and runs in there. She stabs him, and then at the last scene of the movie, she throws him at the camera like a rag doll. Never forget that. Still messes with my head.
Shit.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. My wife said it was a documentary. I was like, okay, I'll go watch it. Documentary about ghosts.
Yeah.
I don't watch scary movies, and all the scary movies that I have seen in the past, I think I've blocked out of my mind.
Nice.
Yeah, I avoid scary movies very much. It stems back from when I was 4 years old, and my dad made me watch Exorcist, that possession scene.
Oh my goodness!
And he's like, "If you're bad, this is what happens."
Okay.
God. So that I've carried that the rest of my life. That messed me up. So I can't watch I can't watch movies with like ghosts or like possession. I can't deal with that.
Nice.
You can give me murderers and aliens and all that stuff. That's fine. I can do all that. But ghosts, no.
Jay, me and you are on the same page. I can do the same thing. I can do everything but like demons, and then I'm out.
For me, it's still the Blair Witch Project, but another one, if somebody wants to watch something traumatic, is a movie called Session 9. It's it will traumatize you completely.
Oh, Jay, didn't you
way
watch?
To sell it.
Didn't you watch a very happy show or movie on your show called The Witch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That one was rough. Like I would watch it. I watched it on my phone because I couldn't deal with it on a bigger screen. And I would literally like hold it away from me and kind of tilt it away so I couldn't see everything that was happening. Dude, that was a lot of work to get through that. Like I was just committed to finishing it, but I was just like, dude, this is rough.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. Yeah. Yep.
It's a great movie. It's good.
Good.
It's really good. But yeah.
Black Phillip was the best.
Yes.
Uncle Scum, next two questions. Are you a lover or a fighter? I last 30 seconds at both of them. Love the show. Gatr? I'm interested.
I'm definitely a lover. I'll fight someone if I have to, but I'm definitely a lover first. I'm a big mushy guy, man. I'm a romantic, I guess you could say.
Hazel?
Pretty much I'd say I'm like 50-50.
Jay, I guess you're a lover and not a fighter. No, you were in a conversation with me in Discord probably 2 years ago. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No, remind me.
Where it was about when you were younger popping off. And I think I was describing that when I was younger, I got in a lot of fights.
Yep,
same. I popped off.
Same.
And I have since then scaled back tremendously.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I don't, like if someone says something I don't like, it doesn't mean that in my head I don't knock their teeth through the wall, but I don't act on it anymore, for sure.
No, that was gonna be my answer. Like in my 20s, I was the worst, dude. I was in your face. I was just like, you're freaking wrong, like everything. But now I'm a little more calm, but I still have like standing orders from my wife that I'm not allowed to say anything to the kids' teachers, or I'm not allowed to respond to anything her parents say. Like no matter what comes out of their mouth, I have to just bite my tongue because I don't know. I say a lot of things that she doesn't like.
Nice. Jay, I've got my wife said the same thing to me with my in-laws.
She's like, no matter what they say, just take it. Okay.
Uncle Scum asks, the missus talks in her sleep, and last night in the hotel, she shouted out, "For a fuck's sake, you're spilling it everywhere."
Uncle
Do you know anyone who talks in their sleep? And if so, what was the funniest thing you've heard? Love the show, my dudes.
I wish I knew.
Yeah, I think I talk in my sleep, but nobody else in my family does. So.
Like, is it like mumbling, or like are you full out speaking where people can understand you?
Oh, I talk. Yeah.
Huh. I don't know anybody.
Anybody. Going once,
Peter?
going twice.
Talking in my sleep? Oh.
Do you know anybody that talks in their sleep?
Yeah, my wife does.
Have you ever heard anything?
My wife does it all the time. She's a teacher, so when she's particularly into some kind of dream, it's usually about kids, and she'll go, "What did I say? What did I say?"
Are you sure it's about kids, or is she talking to you?
No, put your listening ears on. I hear it all the time. I do the same to her, though.
I bet you do hear that.
I'll do stuff. I'll say stuff in my sleep too. So she'll tell me, usually give me a recap the next morning. But yeah, we're both bad. We're bad at talking in our sleep.
Okay. Next one, Gatr. How does your wife, girlfriend, etc. think of Destiny? Gatr, I'll start with you since you posted this question.
Well, it's funny. Me and I'm trying to remember who I was talking with. I think it was Agent H, and my wife thinks it's a joke. She's got the mentality of fake TV friends. You know that these aren't real people. They're just people that have a gamer tag and they hide behind it. And every time I do anything, talk about anything about gaming, it's always the eye roll. So, and she's not, quote, a gamer, but she's on her phone like all the time when she's home. So she doesn't game though. She's not a gamer. So,
Jay, what about you?
She understands how much it means to me. Like, you know, like everything I've shared tonight and everything. Like she knows all that stuff. But like as far as the actual doing it and making time and stressing out that I got to be home in a raid and whatever else, she doesn't see the value in that. You know, she's just like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you stressing out about this?" But I think there was a time where we were struggling about it, but I think we got it pretty good. And to her credit, she's never complained like outright, like, "Hey, I don't want you to play tonight." You know, like she's never done that, but it's getting better.
Hazel?
My wife, I think, has started to take it as a necessary evil, almost. So, yeah. Yeah.
I think when I picked up Destiny again, she walked in here and my wife, looked at the TV. She looked at me and she said, "You're playing Destiny again?" I go, "Yeah, kinda." Eye roll, left the room.
That sounds about right.
She already knew.
Sounds about right.
Sounds like she condones it.
No, she's pretty cool. I guess. Anyway, Skull asks, "How antsy were you the night before Shadowkeep?" To be honest with you, how can I say this in a wonderful way? I don't really get excited for new Destiny content anymore. I just play Destiny, whether it's new or old content. Like nothing new really grabs me that like, oh my God, I gotta play it. It's just, I mean, I still just use Thorn. I mean, I've been using Thorn for months and I'm still using it today. So
that's totally fair, dude.
I mean, it's just Destiny. I mean, nothing really changed. I mean, you get new stuff, but it's still just, you're just playing Destiny. Whether it's new stuff or old stuff, I'm going to play it.
True.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. This is like a Christmas holiday for me. When Destiny when their Destiny major expansions come out, I'm giddy as I'm 16 again. I look so forward to the big expansions coming out. So I'm pumped. I mean, I'm not losing sleep or being up too late. I'm usually just doing prep work, like getting materials and stuff. But dude, I'm antsy as hell.
Yeah, for me it was like I figured the first day was going to be a mess. It always is. You know, like the servers always struggle. There's always something happening. And so I figured, okay, day one's a wash. And then I knew October 2nd was my anniversary, so I knew I was going to play then. So I just didn't really hit me until, Thursday or whatever it was.
Hazel, anything to add, or you just...
No, I pretty much wasn't really looking forward. I mean, I was like, just like you said, it's just Destiny. So yeah, I mean, just some more new shit to do, and that's about it.
Is it strange how I feel like Shadowkeep, like the weapon system, like the grind, is almost exactly like Curse of Osiris, except with randomly rolled guns. Like you get a quest, you go do a bunch of public events, and you go find an artifact, and then you throw it into a cauldron, and it spits out random rolls. I think that's kind of funny because of all the hate that Osiris did. I think the only difference there really is that Curse of Osiris had static rolls, so once you got everything, you had everything.
You were done,
right?
Yeah.
But it's the
I never
exact
thought
same
of it
thing.
that way.
You just go and you do public events, which is what you did in Curse of Osiris. You may do a lost sector, this and that and the other, and then you go forge your weapon. Then you start over.
You
That's
just
a great
costed us
comparison.
a listener somewhere.
Huh?
You just cost us a listener somewhere by saying that. They're like, fuck you.
Oh my God, he's right. I'm never playing this again.
Thanks.
Well, clearly they didn't listen to earlier in the show when I said I love that expansion, but whatever. Uncle Scumdeath says, a question for the Majestic Podcast. How long do your kids wear their uniform after they get home? The Mrs.'s lad was playing FIFA 20 at 11 p.m. on Friday with his blazer and tie still on. Yeah, my kids, they just, when they get home from school, they wear their school outfit until it's time for bed, pretty much.
Same.
Same.
I mean, they don't have a uniform, but they don't change their clothes.
Yeah, right. Just their.
No, we don't have school uniforms, but my kids would shed off. My son especially, he would just shed it as soon as he got home.
Drafty asks, how many vehicles have you each owned?
Oh,
I am on my fourth currently, 2 Chevys, a Buick, and an Oldsmobile. You know what? I thought I wrote this down, but I don't have it, so I'll let y'all go first.
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I'm probably the oldest here, so I probably have the most cars. I've had 18 cars.
Holy
Whoa,
shit.
that's a lot.
But keep in mind, they're vehicles for my business too, so you have to include those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, personal cars, I would say 13.
If you count my motorcycle, I'm at 9.
Dude, you ride a bike?
Mm-hmm. Suzuki G500.
Oh, damn, dude. Didn't know that about you.
I didn't ride it much. I rode everybody else's bike. I didn't ride mine, though. Like, I bought it and I brought it home. I was still living at home at the time. And my dad took one look at that thing. He's like, is that yours? I said, yeah. And he never said a word.
Really?
But the look on his face, I had never seen him make that face before, and I've never seen him make it since. Like, he was scared out of his mind.
Yeah.
And I never rode it. Like, it sat in my garage for 2 years. I had like 1.2 miles in that thing.
Oh,
and I
wow.
sold it in 2 years.
Bought it new? Oh, wow.
Yeah, brand new.
Oh, man.
But I could not do. I saw that look in his face, and I couldn't do it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go out, and like my buddies had a bike. I'd do, hey, let's jump on the bike, because my dad didn't know I was on it. But he never saw that bike leave the garage.
Wow. I didn't know you rode. That's cool.
Yeah. Young and dumb, right?
Oh, I'm old and dumb. I still like to ride. I'm not afraid. I know my skills are good. I'm good at scanning forward. If you're a motorcycle rider, you all understand this. You are the most defensive driver in the world, and you're probably
You have to be.
People who ride motorcycles and drive are probably the best drivers on the road because
I would agree.
Because we have to always be scanning ahead around us. We have to always have peripheral vision of what's going on. The reason I sold my bikes and I'm in a hiatus right now of riding is because I'm worried about all the other people out on the road. And Florida's freaking crazy, man. Everybody's down here. It's nuts. Anyway, sorry. Sidetrack.
No, you're good. I think for me it's 4. I think I've had 4 vehicles.
It's very practical of you, Hazel.
Yeah, well, 3 of them. 2 of them have, passed on because of accidents. So, none of my fault, though.
So, I've had 12, I think.
Nice.
So, Yeah, I used to go through cars a lot. And so now I lease. It makes a lot of sense. Next is Scum Death. And what we're going to try to do for people listening is we're going to try to get through as many as we can, maybe in the next 15 minutes. And what we don't get to, you'll be first up next week. So Uncle Scum has the next two. What was the last thing you Googled? I averagely enjoy the show now and again. So he's changed from I love it to now he averagely likes
Damn it, Hazel! I told you not to say that last episode, dude. Now Uncle Scum gets mad at us.
I'm sorry, Scum.
Last thing I Googled.
The last thing I Googled was the Outlast pulse rifle.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
That's right.
I Google all the time, man.
The last thing I Googled, this is how long does a Vex offensive take?
Nice. This is going to be sad. So my daughter, she said she wanted to play a song by Jojo Siwa. And I'm like, who the fuck is that?
No, dude. Oh, no.
So, yeah. So I Googled Jojo Siwa. And I am cursed to have the song Boomerang stuck in my head.
Uh-oh.
I dodged that bullet with my girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a JoJo Siwa is.
Yeah, neither did I until, about a couple hours ago.
Pass. I don't want to know.
Yeah, don't even Google it.
Last thing I Googled was the movie I saw tonight. I Googled the life of Judy Garland. My wife and I.
Nobody Googled BDSM?
No, not yet.
Nope.
No, it's in my favorites already. I don't have to.
I've already bookmarked it.
Yeah. Scum Death. If you had a really bad bout of farts on your so-called anniversary, do you let them fly into your atmosphere, or do you respect your partner and hold them in? I may have got it wrong, and I've been stinking, so the missus has fucked off to bed. Love the show. Now he loves the show.
He loves it now. All right, we're good. Everything's good in the world. Come on,
I think
Scum
Jay
Death.
should go. I was going to say, I think Jay should go first because he just had his anniversary.
Yes.
I was talking about this with Safety Czar a while back, but between the two of us, like our wives have never heard us pass gas.
What?
Ever.
You've been married how long?
9 years.
Wow. I'm impressed.
I don't know. It's just one of those things like I was growing up, like if you have to go, you just walk into the other room and go and then come back. It's like sneezing. Like you don't sneeze on somebody, so you don't fart on somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, I accidentally farted on my first date with my wife. Like I was drunk and I was walking up to her condo and I was walking up the steps and I don't know what happened. I just let it fly.
You were drunk on your first date?
Yeah.
It's so awesome, dude.
First year of dates. I used to drink a lot. Let's just say that.
It doesn't sound like it at all. I like you, Jay. Same thing. For the longest time, like I never farted in front of my wife. Now, her, on the other hand, she grew up like where it was like I grew up like you go into the other room or something like that. But with her and her family, it was like, Gas Fest 2000, whatever. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, with her, she was doing it, and I'm like, I don't look down on her or anything, but it was just like, I don't know, I just still can't do it in front of her. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
We take walks every night, and I can't help it. When you've been married almost 27 years, you let them fly. It's just the way it is. I try to, wait for a car to pass so she doesn't hear it. Because it kind of blends in with the noise of the car passing. But I'll crop dust every now and again too. That's always a good move if you can control it. But that's the way my family was. My dad and my brother and I, we always had fart games. It was always my wife has never farted in front of me, so she's, I guess, in the opposite end of the spectrum.
That's so funny.
Okay. Uncle Scum Death, man, he I think we have like 11 more from him alone.
Good. Keep them up.
That's great.
So actually, Mushamak asks, do I buy the PS Pro this year and take a beating from the wife, or do I just take that twat away for a weekend?
Wow.
All the love, guys. P.S. Uncle Scumdeath is a fanny.
Okay.
I couldn't see
Nice.
it. My eyes are bad. Buy the Pro, man. It'll last longer.
Oh shit!
No. No. PS5 will be out
There's
next
a PS5
holiday.
coming out next year.
Don't
Yeah,
waste
just
your money,
wait for the
dude.
PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's an easy answer.
Because he has a PS4.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
So,
does he?
The pros,
Okay.
the pros not going to do anything great for you. It's not really
Yeah.
going to
I
do
think-
much better.
I think Sean just got a new 4K TV, which is why he's thinking about it.
It's upscaled. It's. I'm telling you, it's upscaled. I've got a 4K monitor, and it still doesn't look as good as PC.
Yeah, so take the twat away
Yeah.
and then get a PS5 next year.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Scumdeath, do you have a separate gaming room for your house, or do you play in the living room? So when other people want the TV, you're relegated to playing the Switch in the shed, in the shed,
The shed.
like me.
Oh my God! Poor Uncle Scumdeath.
Yeah, I play in the guest bedroom. I'm the one that's regulated from the rest of the house. So.
Same. I'm like here in the back house. This is where I play. Otherwise, if I'm in the house, I have like another Xbox there, but it's like on a little rolling table, and I'm on a folding chair, like in the very corner of the living room. So,
Living room for me.
Yeah, I'm in a converted office that used to be a bedroom, so it's always been that way.
Okay. Scumdeath, were you inspired to be a gamer when you were a kid by someone else, or did you find gaming on your own? That's a great question.
that's such a good question.
I feel like it just came organically. I don't know. Like the Nintendo came out, and I think I was like 6 or 7, and I guess it was the new hot thing, so we bought it, and I started gaming. End of story.
I've already shared my story. I saw the
Right.
I saw that glass tabletop Space Invaders at Pizza Hut. That was it for me.
Yeah, same. There wasn't anyone who like I saw like that's cool. I want to do that too. It was just I found it. My brother and I we're only 2 years apart. We grew up together, so it's like he was into it, so we just kept doing it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, just organically. I just found it. I remember, the Star Wars game that Jay mentioned earlier, like the vectors and stuff like that.
Okay. Since we don't have a whole lot of time left, I'm just going to do like a handpick of some of the quick ones, and then we'll get to the rest of you next week. Laz, murder, marry, sleep with Anna Bray, Iris Morn, Amanda Holiday.
Wow.
That's so easy.
Yeah.
Is it? Let me hear it.
Oh, you want to murder Eris Morn because she's just a bee. You definitely want to marry Anna Bray. She's hot. And Amanda's one of those gals you just sleep with and you're done with it.
I think that we're on the same page, Gatr. Like, exactly.
Same.
Everybody agrees?
Almost.
Holy
No.
crap. Oh, Jay's going to ruin it.
Okay, Eris has to go
Okay.
because she just doesn't stop.
Oh, I see where you're going. You like a country girl.
I like Amanda though, man. Like I always wanted a country girl, so
Okay.
Oh.
I think I'm marrying her.
Yeah,
And
I'm from the country. You ain't missing much, buddy.
and Anna Bray, it's like, like those nerdy chicks are freaky. So
Grugrux ask favorite part of Shadowkeep. Gatr, since you're the one that sounds like you were kind of most
Oh.
over the moon about it. What's your favorite
It's
part so far?
walking over that edge and seeing that pyramid ship at the base of the mountain down there. Favorite part.
just being on the moon is awesome, and like
Man, dude, yeah.
Brings back
it's
so
like
many
and
memories.
it
huh?
looks familiar, but they've changed it, so you're like, I kind of recognize where this was. It's pretty awesome what they did with that whole area.
Comp.
There you go.
Okay, 2 more.
Easy. What about you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just the moon. Just the nostalgia of the moon. You know what? I loved the Taniks nightmare fight. I know that's probably everybody's least favorite, but
That's fun.
that room brings back a lot of memories, especially on Nightfall.
Mm-hmm.
That you had to get through that room to go up the beam, and that room could get real hairy because there's just not a lot of room to move around in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
I was
like
mad I
that one
didn't
rock
get
in the
close.
tunnel to hide behind.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Right. Okay, Chubby asks, since Halloween is right around the corner, what was your least favorite treat from trick-or-treating? Some of my all-time worst were pennies, pencils, and nasty-ass candy corn. Thanks. Yeah, candy corn is disgusting.
Lies.
What are you talking
You guys don't
about?
like candy corn?
Candy is
No.
candy,
Oh.
dude. I love candy corn.
What? No,
Yes.
no.
It's good.
Candy is not... a Skittles and a candy corn are not even in the same
Dude,
universe.
The pumpkins are the best. You bite the little green off the top, and then you just down the orange.
No.
Oh wow.
Candy corn for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you're outnumbered. Sorry,
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, wow. Y'all are
Worse.
But to answer the question, black licorice.
Oh,
Oh, God.
really?
Uh,
I like
It just gets worse.
That's just awful. I'd still like. I see people eat that stuff. Like, what are you doing? Like, was this like doctor's orders? Like, what are you doing?
I would say the black and orange like miscellaneous wrapped candy.
Yeah,
What is that?
The generic candy. Had
Yeah, the
nasty,
generic candy that
nasty
you don't know
fake
what it
peanut
is.
butter inside.
Yeah, exactly. That shit.
Oh, yeah, I gotta agree with that one. Yep, that's my answer.
Or you know what else is bit o' honey?
I was gonna say that because they always got stuck to everything, right?
That stuff is awful.
Yeah, that was a good one. Plus, if you had any fillings, you were screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Like good and plenty.
So, akaGEARDad, we may not have enough time for you to answer this next question. But what games do you regret buying? All of them?
Every game since I started Destiny.
Yeah, right.
Destiny-itis.
Same.
No,
Dude, there's games I bought and I have not played. Like I have PS4 games that are still sealed in the wrapper. Like I just never got around to it. This game is too much. I can't stop.
Let me think. What was the game that was a Destiny killer supposedly and is just totally bombed now?
Oh, Anthem is terrible.
Anthem has got to be my biggest.
Anthem. Yeah, Anthem would be an answer. Like that's the easy answer because that was just such a
No,
mess.
I got one even goes back further. Remember the game Mag? It was this big 64v64 first-person shooter, and the picture looked really awesome. And then you got it online. It looked like a 16-bit game. It was so bad. If you don't,
I don't even remember that game.
yeah, it was called Mag. Yeah, it was supposed to be a Battlefield copy kind of game, but it was a big giant battlefield. And the problem is it had so many players on the field they couldn't keep the graphics up. No way it could render fast enough. So you would go in the game and it was like, what is this shit? I can't even see that guy. He's not even not even a right outline of that guy. It's like a bunch of pixel blocks. It was terrible. Mag, look it up. You see what I'm saying?
You know what game I don't regret buying is The Last of Us.
Mm.
I've still got
Oh,
it.
I can't wait for number 2 to come out, dude. It's like, I love Destiny, but it's going to be starting next month. It's going to be a hard sell. Like, I'll probably be in for Iron Banner and like Exotic Quest here and there, but it's Death Stranding, Jedi Fallen Order, Last of Us 2, Final Fantasy 7, and Cyberpunk, like back to back to back to back with 1 month in between.
It's gonna be rough. I
Yeah,
agree,
it's rough.
man. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough.
It's going to be
6 months.
And yeah, and man, I'm excited for Death Stranding. I know some people are like, that looks stupid, but man, talk about your sci-fi,
Mind blown.
thriller, man, it looks incredible. One more. How about one more? We'll wrap it up. Laz asks, Mirror, mirror on the tower, what's the greatest Shadowkeep weapon of them all?
I like the auto rifle that you get from the. It's not Eris Morn, but right next to it, the thing you were just talking about, the little tablet thing.
Yep. You know what? I got the Arc Logic, and I got it with Overflow and Demolitionist. So,
dude, that thing just mows down ads.
dude, I've got like almost never ending. I'm gonna throw a backup mag on it,
Oh wow.
and it's gonna be like the damn what's that exotic auto rifle that shoots forever?
Sweet business.
Yep, it's going to be like a mini sweet business.
And pro tip, if you have an auto rifle or a submachine gun, make sure when you're doing your relic updates, make sure you get the barrier penetrating rounds. Put that on all your autos and
oh, is that? Yeah, I noticed the artifact update.
Yes, you will eat through all the shielded knights, all those stupid hobgoblins that go into that fire shield. You just blow them right up. I don't care if you're squatting, you're dead. It's awesome. Anything that has a shield, even those captains that throw the shields, I'm telling you, just mows through them. Got to have it on your gun. You put that on a recluse, which is what I did going through that last story for the exotic launcher they have out. Why came not Deathbringer? What the hell is it called? It's killing me now. It sucks getting old, man.
So if I do an artifact unlock on one of these, can I undo it and put it somewhere else, or once I click it, is it
you can reset it?
You can reset it for $10,000.
Yeah, it does cost, but you can redo your tree if you don't like what you did.
Best weapon for me, I'd say, is recluse.
there it is.
Sorry.
I was gonna say that too, but I wasn't really, technically correct.
Yeah, mountaintop recluse. It's funny that if Glad post a picture on Twitter, it's like mountaintop recluse anarchy. Mm-hmm. It's like nothing's changed.
Yeah. What about you, Jay?
I haven't got a lot of drops of stuff that I can actually use yet. I'm still using all the stuff from last season, so a rental.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm going to ask the last question, and this is from Twitter. It's from Mrs. Hazelnut. Keep sending those in. Yes, this is from Mrs. Hazelnut, and it says, question for the podcast. In our neck of the woods, it is fall. What is your favorite type of pumpkin dessert, if you like pumpkin? Pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin pancakes, pumpkin muffins, etc. What do you think?
Pumpkin beer.
Really? Really?
Oktoberfest or like a nice pumpkin ale.
Wow.
You're saying you like that seasonal beer?
I do like.
You like that seasonal beer?
Did I hear something on Potato Thumbs about?
We're trying to legitimize it. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I like fall beer. I like the pumpkin ales.
So what you're saying is a seasonal beer.
Yes, I like seasonal beers. Fine.
Thank you. For me, it's homemade pumpkin pie with a dollop of Cool Whip. I'm good.
Yeah, my sister makes a killer pumpkin pie.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I love it.
Mr. Hazelnut?
I'm a basic bitch, and I will take anything pumpkin you can give me. I'll take a pumpkin pie with a pumpkin spice latte, with pumpkin pancakes, and a pumpkin muffin on the side. I mean, my wife, she makes, I guess she's like trolling and trying to get me to mention it, but she makes pumpkin pancakes, and they're fucking fantastic.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
So you were the kid that had his finger in your thumb in the pumpkin when you were little. I got it. No one.
That sounds slightly suggestive.
That joke went wherever.
That sounds like a movie.
I'll edit that out. Don't worry, I'll edit that out. That was bad. All right. Hey, thanks, guys. Hey, by the way, guys, whatever questions we did not answer, we tried to answer the most pertinent questions tonight. Obviously, Jay's were first, but anything that kind of addressed Shadowkeep, we tried to stick to that, and then the general questions. If we didn't answer them this week, we will answer them next week. We promise. And Easy, thanks for fishing through those. I know that wasn't easy tonight.
Oh yeah, it was fun. Thank you all again.
So, all right, it's time to move on. Be right back.
Only 1 minute left.
All right, great questions, everybody. And like I said, thanks for submitting them. And if we didn't get to them this week, we will definitely get to them next week. So keep throwing them in. Whenever you think of something, just throw them in the podcast questions part of our Discord, and we will make sure we add them in our next show. All right, it's time to pick our songs for the Guardian Down Cast playlist. It's a little sprinkling of the three of us and our guest, what we like to listen to, and we invite you to listen to it. Just search for Guardian Down Cast playlist on Spotify. You know what? I'm going to go first. I never go first. I'm going to go first. My first pick is going to be from Radiohead, Paranoid Android.
Nice pick.
I can listen to any Radiohead album and just listen straight through. It's such a great group.
Yeah, I can too.
Yeah, they're so good.
I'm a big Tom York fan, so anything he does
Nice.
is just amazing. So my second pick is actually called Second Chance. It's from Shinedown. It's a very well known pop rock kind of ballad, and it's very inspirational. If you want something to listen to that kind of pumps you up, good song. Just heard it this week and decided what the hell, let's throw it in there. So Hazel, you go next.
All right. I went with something kind of, well, actually both I'd say are kind of mellow. Portishead Glory Box.
That
And
whole
then-
album is that whole Portishead album is excellent.
Yeah. And then Glass Animals Gooey. Yeah. I wanted to go with something else, and I kept going back and forth, and that's the reason why I got the picks in a little bit later, just because I kept going back and forth. But, so yeah.
You know, let's let our guest of honor finish it up tonight. Easy, you're next. Let's do it.
Yep.
So I went with two bands that have lead singers that are females. Actually, I almost prefer the female voice over the male voice when it comes to music. And these two bands are fairly small. They're not, humongous or anything like that. But one is White Lung, and they're a Canadian band. And the song is Dead Weight. This album is very 90s rock sound, like almost grungy, but much faster than your grunge. It's excellent. And then the other band is they're just kind of crazy. The band is called Kitten, and the song is called Strange Embrace.
Nice, man. Nice. I love you. You guys pick the greatest songs. It's so awesome. Well, I guess that's it then. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Jay. What are your song picks, brother?
Okay, so I wanted to give you two kind of different songs. So the first one is by Toad the Wet Sprocket. It's All I Want.
Great song.
We're on the
Nice.
same wavelength, I swear to God.
And the other one is my favorite Motley Crue song, Kickstart My Heart.
All right. I got to tell you a story about this song before we go. You said that song, and it was like divine intervention. I was like, I can't believe you picked that song of all Motley Crue songs. When I go to, I have a season pass, a Florida annual pass at Universal Studios, and they have Rocket Roller Coaster there. I don't know if you guys have ridden that or not. You literally are pumped vertically straight up, and you fall vertically 90 degrees straight down. It's really awesome. And you get to pick a rock song. They have a list of songs that you can pick before you get in. When you get in, you pick a song, and it jams that whole song the entire ride. It's the most awesome ride. And Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue is a song I pick every time because it's just the drum beat, to-do, and you're going down the roller coaster and going up and down. It is so much fun. It's so much fun.
It
to
sounds
listen
like
to.
a blast.
You guys listen to the song, you'll get what I'm talking about. But thanks, Jay, man. Those are great picks, man. Great picks. I had to tell you about that story. I told you I was going to tell you about it when I DM'd you about it. But damn, I think we're finally to the end of the show, guys. Great job, man. This was a great episode.
Great. Yeah, great episode.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Jay. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming on
Jay.
the show and
Oh, man.
being so heartfelt and open up. Like I feel like our listeners are in for a treat for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, man. Like I know I ran my mouth. Sorry.
No, dude. No, you had
No.
me in. You had me tearing up, dude. I mean, really. That was really touching. Everything you said. Hazel, do you have something you want to say?
No, it was just all heartfelt, and I mean, it was just great having you on, man.
Yeah, definitely, Jay. I appreciate it.
Anytime, guys.
Well, Jay, let's start with you, man. How can people contact you? What's your deets?
Okay. So if you're looking for Gamerscore Radio, you can find us on Twitter at Gamerscore Radio. There's also gamerscoreradio.com that'll take you to like the Podbean feed and like a list of other podcasts you should be listening to, including this one. And then Dad Tales Podcast is under DGents Pod on Twitter. And then I am at akaGEARDad everywhere. And if you're looking for me on Twitter, follow me at Arisen Phoenix. The O is a 0.
Nice.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. You can find me on Xbox at Easy Pooty. You can find me at PlayStation at BDGO210, and you can find me on the Twitter at BossoVA22.
The
Hazel?
twatter. I appreciate that. Congratulations. Yeah, so Hazelnut everywhere. Xbox, PS4, HAZELNT, and the Hazelnut on Twitter, HAZELNT again. The twatter. Toddles.
Oh God, here we go. You can contact me via the Twitter at Todd the Gatr. You can also find me on YouTube, Steam, and PS4 as Gatr, GATR underscores in between, and Gatr, GATR space GDC on Xbox. I do need friends, so please friend me there, please. I occasionally stream on YouTube and post gameplay vids of various activities on my YouTube channel, so please stop by there. I'll put all the links in the show notes and stuff. I play other games too, not just Destiny, but I'll be honest, it's mostly Destiny. Like I said, all the deets will be in the show notes. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean. Damn, just go look for a podcast app, and we're probably going to be there. Just search for Guardian Downcast. You can also email us at guardiandowncast@gmail.com. We're on the Twitter at GuardianDcast for show questions or whatever you like to convey to us. We appreciate it. We have a Discord as well. Just search for Guardian Downcast, and I'll post a permanent link and invite into our Discord. We do invite you to go there. It's a great community we got. I think that's it, guys. Thank you all so very much for listening. And later, Guardian.
Later.
Have a good one, guys.
See ya.
Toddles.
You tearing up? I'm like, no, I'm not tearing up. Come on.
No, you are.
Did you say we have 36 questions? I already got all the weapons. What do you want me to do? You know, like, those nerdy chicks are freaky, so... You know, it's not like I can put this title on my resume. Who cares?
I just wanted to say that it was funny. I tuned in and then I heard you talking and I got butterflies. I was like, oh shit, it's Jay.